Good morning. Welcome to this session of the European Social Summit. My name is Pilar Molinero. I am the Managing Director of the Institute Aragonés of Fomento. This is the Regional Development Agency of Aragon, located in the northeast of Spain. Our institution has recently celebrated its 30th anniversary, and during all these years, we have been involved in the business growth of our region, creating wealth and economic stability. For us, it's essential to continue making progress and carrying out programs aimed at entrepreneurs. These ones provide them with the tools and expert knowledge they need to create the business. Among our strategic programs, we can highlight those focuses on the social enterprise and also on creative and cultural industries. I only provide you with the following information about the 6th live edition of the Social Entrepreneurship Program. That is, 105 participating initiatives has been mentored, 40 enterprises have been created with a survival rate of 78%. These figures encourage us to go on being an active part of the social economy in our region. So, I'm pleased to introduce this session about social innovation called Innovative and Collaborative Experience for Managing Social Crises. In today's session, we appreciate the presence of several speakers from Spain, Portugal, Poland, and Czech Republic. Each region will have an allocated time of about 15 minutes to share these good practices within the social economy landscape. Now, let me introduce you the speakers who join me today in this session. From the Spain region, Santiago Cosme will talk about the new economy canvas by the European Commission and how, alongside the Instituto Aragonés de Fomento, they have created a program to make it accessible in more social entrepreneurs. The Canvas is a tool that helps you visualize the collaborative ecosystem in your social company. It also helps in understanding the key aspects that are crucial for your company to operate with high standards within the social economy. From the Portugal region, we will have 4 guest speakers. Alexandra Correia from Adral, who will talk us through how the social innovation entrepreneurship within the region. Henrique Sim from Eugenio de Almeida Foundation, who will share with us how they help in shaping a social innovation ecosystem. Tânia Carvalho from In Her Voice will talk us through how the importance of coaching for future leaders and how to measure social impact. And Susana Pedro from Sociedade BEM, who will help us understand the concept of children's social and emotional learning in school. From the Poland region, Agata Ziemiakowicz of Resenhof Regional Development Agency will share how social companies support the Podapkri region. And finally, from the Czech Republic, Mr. Petr Čáp of the National Network of Local Action Group will talk about Regiony Soben, a project that cares about connecting the local offer of thousands of small business with the local consumers on service. Thank you, all of you, for being here. And now we start with Santiago Cosme from Spain, so he can tell us about the social economy canvas. Thank you very much.
I think I turned on my microphone well. Okay. I guess you can all see my presentation. So thanks, Pilar, for the kind introduction. And also, let me tell you, it's a pleasure to be here with you all. Let me just straight into the presentation because we've got lots of great speakers today and we have to manage our time efficiently. In my presentation, I would like to share with you one of the projects that the Instituto Aragonés de Fomento has done over the course of the last year and a half to bring social innovation to the people of Aragon in Spain. Everything started about 2 years ago when the European Commission wanted to tackle something that they thought was an issue, which is that for them, the social economy is a bit complex. Most social companies operate with loads of collaborators, institutions, providers, partners, businesses. They have a social responsibility program. And sometimes it is difficult to show the ecosystem of those collaborators or stakeholders in a simple way. So basically what the European Commission did is they created a prototype of something called the Social Economy Canvas. The idea was to take all that information that I just mentioned about the collaborations between companies that is a bit entangled, and they wanted to turn that information into something that was sorted, usable, and easy to show. So pretty much from the start, the Instituto Aragonés de Fomento decided that even though the social economy canvas was just a prototype at the time, it was definitely something that that people will benefit in the Aragon region, and it would be good to train them in social innovation. So around that time, we decided that we were going to create a big event that will bring on board 50 social entrepreneurs from Aragon. We would bring the creators of Social Economy Canvas. We would have a networking event, drinks and food, the whole lot, the best social event of the year. But unfortunately, as you may remember, I'm sure you do, COVID struck, and we had to change our plans because unfortunately the lockdown started and we had to cancel the event approximately a week before it had to take place. So because in Aragon we are known to being pretty stubborn, we decided that we would still go ahead and try to find a way to bring that training to all the social entrepreneurs in Aragon. So we decided to create a program called the Social Track Forum to not only train people on the social economy canvas, but also to create those canvases for them so that it would become a tool that would use in a daily basis to show to clients, collaborators, investors, and so forth. In fact, those canvases that we've done for many social entrepreneurs in Aragon are being shown in another room of this event as we speak. The program itself, the Social Track Forum, consisted of three main things. One was to get a fundamental knowledge about human-centered design. And I have the feeling the presentation goes a bit slow. I'm moving the slides, but nothing happens. Let me see. I'm still stuck in online event, right? At the moment. Well, that's not good. Let me just close the presentation for a second and reopen it, see if that solves the issue. Can you see now a lady pushing a cart? Yes, okay, so that was the slide I was talking about. So, sorry for that. The fundamentals of that training were to learn about human-centered design, the business model canvas, and also, of course, once you knew about the business canvas and you had the stepping stone to learn about the social economy canvas that looks like this. We have trained approximately, I would say, about 200 social entrepreneurs so far. And the feedback is pretty positive, so we will be continuing to do so as long as the feedback continues to be positive. We have now taken a break for the summer, but we'll continue in September. And now, having spoken a few minutes about the social economy canvas, I would like to show you what it is, so you know what I'm talking about. The social economy canvas is actually split in two parts. The first one is called the landscape and pretends to look at the landscape or the ecosystem of your company from an outside perspective. It is where does my company fit with all those collaborators around. So the way it works is actually pretty simple. It might look a bit scary at the beginning, but I promise you that once you know the keys, it's almost like a board game. What you do is select the players in your ecosystem with a corresponding piece that I would love to show you, but again, the presentation is stuck. Let's have a look. I'm probably going to have to close this again. Right, okay. So basically you select the pieces that represent each one of the players in your ecosystem. For instance, orange that you see on the top left corner is the piece that you would use for your own project. Depending on the size of your project, you will pick a piece accordingly. You'll do the same thing with the beneficiaries, volunteers, collaborators, and you place them on a board to look something like that. Then the next thing you need to do is to select the contributions that you give or receive based on that type of contributions. They can be contributions about money. In that case, you will select a blue arrow. They can be workforce. You select an orange arrow. Green for resources, services, intangibles will be yellow, and knowledge, training, learning will be used with the burgundy. So once you place them on the board, you will end up with something like this, which is a final canvas for a project called the Lucky Ironfish. Now, if you don't know about the canvas, it might look like a bit weird at the moment. You feel like, oh, I'm not sure how to interpret this. But once you're trained, and if I was, for instance, myself, training the canvas, but I didn't know about Lucky Ironfish, if I was shown this, straight away I could learn a few things about the company. For instance, what this is telling me is that there's a project called Lucky Ironfish. The Lucky Ironfish receives subventions from the government. Those subventions that are represented here in blue, which is money, are turned into a mutual fund that is used as money to give to people with anemia, which is the beneficiaries or the people you're trying to help. Also, what this is telling me is that we offer through Lucky Ironfish a fish that they put in their pan to cook and have more iron in their food. And also, because it's burgundy, I know that they're training people in nutrition. So basically, once you know how the tools work, it is fairly simple to take a canvas and to know exactly how the company operates. I know we're doing this super quickly. I mean, a normal training of the canvas would be about 2-3 hours, but once you know how to use it, it is really super simple. The second part of the canvas is called the identity canvas. The identity is kind of different because it is created to look within your company to assess if you're operating with the best possible practices, if you are as social and as regenerative as possible. The canvas is split in 3 parts that cover the area of social, the environmental aspect, and also the economic aspect. All you need to do is go to any one of these hexagons that represents one area of the practices at work and answer a few questions that actually attach to the canvas, so you don't have to memorize anything. You just go to the corresponding hexagon, you go to the card, you read it, it tells you a question, and you basically give it a mark. The mark is not done in a numerical way. It's not like putting 1 to 10 for as good as bad you are. It's done in with a color scheme. So basically, black would be worst and green would be the best. So if we were to do an example, for instance, let's see that we zoom in onto the canvas. You see, we've got one of the areas is called purpose. So you simply go to the corresponding card that says purpose, and the question is, what motivates us? The answer we are looking for is, we share a common purpose beyond money, which is, are we a company whose purpose is to help rather than to make more profit and more profit? If the answer is yes, you give it top marks, and basically you select the green color. So you do this and you repeat this throughout the canvas, and you may end up with something that looks like this. A full canvas that tells you straight away all the areas of work where you might need some improvement if you want to operate at the highest standards. So basically, this is the tool that we've trained social entrepreneurs from Aragon on. And I wanted to show you a couple of examples. In fact, we did this for companies as good as Apadrina un Olivo from Oliete. It's a company that tries to fight depopulation. So basically what they do is they give people the possibility of helping by sponsoring an olive tree, which is key to the economy of the region. Once they started getting some income through that, they reinvest in themselves, and they even created a beautiful olive oil called Mi Olivo. that they sell in shops, stores, on the website. And basically, all that company has got their canvas. And if you knew how to interpret the canvas through training, you would be able to straight away see what they're doing and how they do it. And I wanted to show you the example and compare with another company also from Aragon, so you can see that the canvas is particular to each company. So basically, if we go to another one, the canvas will have the same pieces, but they will tell you a different story. Another company would be, for instance, Feldwood. Feldwood produces ecological industrial materials using agricultural waste. So basically, they are an alternative to plastic, wood, and agglomerates. And the way they operate can be seen in this canvas. As you can see, the pieces are the same, but if you put them together, you can tell that the canvas tells you a completely different story, because they are in fact two completely different businesses. So they operate in a completely different way. And once you know how to interpret this, it's a cool tool to show to people in a visual manner how your company operates. So basically, that's the program that we've been doing with the Instituto Aragonés de Fomento, a program called Social Track Forum. We've trained, as I said, about 200 social entrepreneurs so far. We're continuing to do so, and we'll continue to do so for as long as the feedback is positive, in a quest to bring social innovation to all of them. And that's it for me. So I hope you have enjoyed my presentation. And now I'd like to pass on the virtual microphone to our guest speaker, Agata, who was introduced earlier on by Pilar. Agata, I'm going to open your presentation myself, and I pass on the microphone to you so you can tell us all about your project. Let me open the presentation. Here it is. Agata, all yours.
Hello, I'm Agata from Rzeszów Regional Development Agency. First of all, I would like to give you a general highlight on my region. So we are from Podkarpackie region, and our agency is responsible for regional development here. We are based in the southeast part of Poland. We have like 2,100,000 inhabitants. And what is relevant in this topic, we have like 50,500 enterprises, in which over 300 are stable social enterprises. The number is fluctuating because these social enterprises are opening and closing, and now, especially with the COVID situation, we can't really measure how many of them survived. But we want to set up the new project to monitor how they operating in the market now. So I would like to give the highlight on our social policies. So going from national to regional level, so up at the national level, the most relevant document when it comes to social economy, that's what we called here in Poland. We don't call it social sector, but we call it social economy. So the most relevant document for the social economy on the national level, there is a national program of social economy development. So this is the main document, and the body responsible for it is Ministry of Family, Labor and Social Policies. Then on the regional level, which is like in our case of the Regional Development Agency, we perform the Podkarpackie Regional Operational Program. So we finance projects from this policy instrument. And on the down level, we have something like social economy support centers. So they are chosen by the ministry. And our agency is one of the social economy support center here in the region. And what is this? This is like a comprehensive support for the social economy sector in our region, which includes the grants, training, animation business, consultancy services, and bridge support for the social entities. Among this institution, let's say, there are two large projects with the total budget of 12 million euro, financed from a regional operational program, and with whom we cooperate with NGOs, local government, entrepreneurs, people at risk of exclusion, and local leaders. This is what we define the perfect social entrepreneur, and it's easy to say, but hard to find, actually. What is the best profile of the entrepreneur, social entrepreneur? So for us, it's experience, leadership skills, knowledge, market awareness, able to gain revenue, but of course being socially oriented and willing to help people in difficult situation. To be honest, this is a very strict requirements for the entrepreneur profile, but from our experience, we only discovered that this provides the sustainable social entity with all the factors that I mentioned. There are the best social entities with the most sustainable income and the sustainable existence on the market. So what is the result of the project so far? We try to open 95 new social enterprises through the instrument. However, there are now fighting with the COVID situation, and we don't know how many of them have to close now. We created almost 400 new jobs for vulnerable people. And I will now give the general overview how the COVID influenced the social sector. Of course, like in all the European regions and in the worldwide problem, the very difficult situation that social entities faced, especially those from the culture and catering services. There was instrument financial injection from the specially dedicated anti-crisis shield, as we called here. But many of the small enterprises decided to close due to their fear from the unknown and liquidity problems. Of course, what was the main problem that many disabled people are especially vulnerable for the virus. So they had to stop working from the fear of being infected. So most of the companies were lacking of the staff and also the financial liquidity. But we try to look positive also at the situation. However, it was difficult. So this time was for us to see and notice which social entities can adapt to the new situation and look for the new opportunities. So some found a market niche and changed their profile of activity to the new, like they were sewing masks, producing gloves, sanitizers, and so on. So some of the social enterprises very quickly reacted to this. And I think this is the key of the success now. But also our government invented something like purchasing mechanism. So normally we have to do the public procurement in the public institution, which is like a very complicated procedure. But during the COVID situation, we resigned from this. I mean, it was allowed to buy directly from the social entities, to support the social entities and provide others the sanitizers, masks, and so on. So the Regional Center for Social Policies, which is our stakeholder, we cooperate strongly together. they were like ordering this materials, sanitizers, and so on. They were directly ordering in the social entities, and they were distributing those in hospitals, palliative care centers, crisis intervention centers, family centers, orphanages, and so on. So it was like help from two sides. We were helping to gain revenue in the social entities, and also help some other entities to protect themselves from COVID. And it was financed from the regional operational programs, especially dedicated fund. So it was like 6,153,000 euro, more or less. Oh, I forgot to change slides. What was also very well and worth to mention, that those social companies which were providing catering before the COVID situation, they were facing really problems because they lost their incomes, they lost their revenues. So also our social policy centers bought from them the catering services, and they gave those these food boxes to the other charities. So it was again like the help from two sides, helping social enterprises to gain income and helping people in need. So also it was like a food distribution. I won't read all those numbers, but I just want to say that we are strictly measuring all the purchases and all the results. And so far we helped over like 100 social entities. And through this purchasing, which were distributed among other institutions, we help like 200 institutions which are dealing with helping people and which are dealing with the social sector. In the Regional Development Agency, we also have some international projects tackle the problem of social entities. So we were trying to survive, to organize online stakeholder meetings. We monitor COVID situation, and we are implementing Social Seeds project, which is now in the second phase, and we apply for the funds to measure now the COVID situation among the social sector in Europe. So hopefully we get additional funds, and we will provide a report how it's in each European country and how the social entities try to survive. Thank you very much. That's all from my side. Sorry for speaking too long, maybe, but I hope you enjoy the presentation. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Agata. Let's give the microphone to Mr. Petr Čáp from the National Network of Local Action Groups in Czech Republic, who will be talking about the region Isoby.
Hello, good morning, everybody. I hope you can hear me. Now I'm going to try to... Okay. So I hope you see my presentation, and I have now 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes to introduce you our activity of what we have done during the COVID pandemic situation and the general lockdown, and how we supported and engage the cooperation between different actors and local, rural level. So I'm from National Network of Local Action Groups. I hope you know all local action groups, small organizations working in the rural areas. And okay, can I ask somebody to mute yourself, because I can hear something, or maybe if Santiago can mute all except of me. Yeah, great. Thank you very much. It's much better. So this is the map of the local action groups in the Czech Republic. So you should know that 95% of the territory is covered by local action groups in the Czech Republic. So this is very important to know. And so, because this is one of our resources which we have, all of them, almost all of them, 168 local action groups are united within the national network of local action groups, where I'm executive director. So, of course, that last spring, everything has been closed due to pandemic and COVID-19, and we are thinking, how can we help? How can we participate, and how can we support our members? Because this economic situation was very crucial. It was very bad in that time, and all small businesses, all small rural entrepreneurs had to close down, and they were going out of the money, out of the resources. So we were thinking about what resources we have, what are our pillars of our activities, and those 168 legs, they are consisting of 2,800 small rural entrepreneurs. We have more than 2,100 small civic organizations who are united in the local action groups. And we are covering and cooperating, and our members are more than 5,500 municipalities. So this is something what we have, what we can somehow engage or stimulate or motivate to react somehow on the situation of pandemic, which was of course the new for all of us, and we had to try to find some solutions. So we really like the theory. What is the theory behind our practice and behind our thinking? What we can do is the method of the plugging the leaks. If you know, the plugging the leaks is the method which try to analyze the local economy and to support local economy by searching where are the holes in the bucket of the local economic, and try to stick those holes, and plug the leaks together. So that we has to think about, we must support the local economy, and we cannot estimate that the state or the national institutions will help the local economy, because also the national state was absolutely shocked and paralyzed by the situation of the pandemic, which was quite new for anybody. So as the local action groups always try to motivate and initiate the energy from the bottom up, so we made a huge training for this method of the plugging the leaks, and we were discussing together with the local entrepreneurs, small businesses, small rural organizations, and municipalities, how we can support the local economy, how we can support the sustainability and resilience of the local economy. And so we decided that we have to make first the campaign, the information campaign, about that we should not much rely on the national subsidies, on the national support, because it will take a time, and the pandemic will have a big impact on the national budget. So we really must think about our own, what we can do on our own. So we prepared the big poster, which was the Agata Sobie, which is Agata is the name of the local action group. So we had 168 different posters where we supported the idea about get to know your region better, that you should be much more familiar with what's going on in your region, where you can support, where you can buy local food, local production, local services. So get to know your region better, then promote the region, try to promote local products, local services, local entrepreneurs, for your friends, in your Facebook bubbles, on the social media. Contribute to the local economy yourself, that anybody can also be a contributor. In Czech Republic, many people, for example, cultivate something, they plant some food, so they can also be a part of the small local economy retail chain. And also the last was the support the region financially. Buy local, be smart, buy local, try to buy a voucher for your in the town when you are living, to get the money, keep the money in the local economy. So we made those thousands of those posters, and we put it into the rural areas. And because because we are covering those 5,500, almost 95% of the villages in the Czech Republic, so we had a great big impact of this first level of the campaign. And then we were thinking, what next? And next, okay, so we made this information campaign about the local economy. But now we have to find the connections between the local producers and local consumers and tourists. So we started a new web page, which is called Regiony Sobě, which means regions to themselves. Like, and the words below is the strong people make a strong regions. There we try to support this idea of the local economy. So we developed the web page where you can easily find your entrepreneurs based, and you on the 13 regions in the Czech Republic and 150 local action groups, and also by the focus of the business. So we divided the local rural business, into 6 topics, like shops and stores in general, food and natural products, general crafts, then handicrafts as something special, like a handicrafts, services, local services, and catering and accommodation. And all those six businesses were highly affected by pandemic situation, and they all need to survive, and they all need to be somehow get some money from the local consumers or tourists, because of course in Czech Republic during the pandemic we couldn't travel abroad, but there was a huge increasement of the local tourism, so we tried to support this. So this was the idea, and it was quite quick how to fill it. So this is the web page where you can see now it's about more than 2,000 small entrepreneurs. You can easily find your location, your region, based on the region or the local action groups on the city, or if you are looking for example, some specific business. Then when you sort it, you can see you can see the presentation of each businesses. For example, some balloons, it's kind of services, some farms where you can buy the products, bio products, some soaps or some hygiene products, or the bookstore. You can see some graphic design services, or some some coffee houses. So this is the selection of what is around you, and you should support it to be. And when you click on the producer, you can see where he is, how can you reach him, or by website, or where he's located, if he is open. So this is the very easy presentation of small entrepreneurs, and we needed to support it by a huge campaign. So we made a huge campaign in the regional trains, because we know that local people are very often using these local trains. So we last summer made a huge campaign in the local trains and also on the Facebook. So and this was quite important, because many people visited this webpage during the last summer, and then the whole year. So what are the results from the first year of this campaign? So it means that the webpage has more than 35,000 visits, which is quite good for the Czech Republic. We have now 2,250 local entrepreneurs which are listed in our database. And what is important in this project, and how to make it self-sustainability, this project, because there are many projects like this in Czech Republic, but they are not so vivid. the problem is about who will be editing, who is editor of this content, web content. And this is why we are using the network of the local action groups, because each local action group is responsible for editing, updating, and adding new entrepreneurs on their own territory. So the web page has now more than 150 editors, and they are maintaining the content from their territory, and it's working on the 3 levels. So we are promoting this web page on the national level, how to support the small and medium businesses, entrepreneurs. On the local level, it's working on the regional level, because also the regions are supporting just the regional aspect of this web page, and it's working very nice on the local level, that the people and the villages and municipalities which are united in one of the local action groups, they are supporting each others from this side. We have also now 3 strategic cooperations, especially with the Association of Small and Medium Businesses in Czech Republic, which give us which we cooperate together, and also the Association of the Regional Products. So they gave us their databases of the small entrepreneurs, and we are cooperating. And also one of the region, which is Královéhradecký region, want to join our huge web page, and will support only the entrepreneurs from their region, and they will make a stakes. So every entrepreneur will will place the stick on the door, so, and to promote more for people to be smart and buy local. So this is the last picture of my presentation, where you can see the flip chart. It's a roll up where we are promoting this idea of local economy, of being smart, support the local economy, and go to this web page where we are gathering and we are building a huge database of the small services, rural small entrepreneurs on the rural area, and small shops. So this was our reaction on the COVID situation, which get a good support from the rural areas, and this was somehow at least our small innovative and collaborative approach to how people and how community can really not rely such on the general and national reaction on the pandemic situation, and they can rely on themselves, and they can much support their own businesses by their own. So that's from my side. Thank you very much.
We are running out of time a little bit. I think we're going to be too long here ourselves. Alexandra, are you ready
Yes.
to tell us about?
Yeah.
I'll give the microphone.
Can you close the presentation? I can put ours.
Yeah, I close
Okay.
this, and I turn off my microphone as well.
Okay. Good morning. Thank you for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you. My name is Alexandra, and I am the coordinator of the. Oh, it's not in the place. Sorry. The coordinator of the Development and Cooperation Department in the Alentejo Regional Development Agency. We have 66 shareholders, public and private one, mostly public, for example, the regional government, the municipalities association, and the universities. And between the private sector, some of the biggest companies in the region, some foundations, local action groups, also ONGs, and many others. We can say that we represent the region in its diversity. We have a multi-sector intervention, but usually we work in partnership with the relevant stakeholders depending on the thematic. In this case of social innovation, we work with different and relevant stakeholders in the region, like foundations, local development association, and business associations, and many others. We believe European cooperation is fundamental for the regional development, and we are involved in many projects, also in the thematic of social innovation. Sorry, I forgot the slides. And as a regional development agency, we directly contribute for the smart specialization strategy, and the social innovation and citizenship is already one of the strategic areas for intervention in the next period 2021-2027. We also have in Portugal the Portugal Social Innovation, that is a public initiative to promote and support social innovation in Portugal, as many other investment and tools for this thematic of social innovation. Also in the regional operation program, we have this possibility. For us, the principal role of the Regional Development Agency is working for the involvement of regional stakeholders in all this process and in all these projects. That's why I invited some partners that I think it's the best way to show you what we are doing together, like an ecosystem and like a partnership in the region of Alentejo. We will start to listen now. Henrique Sim Sim, the head of Social and Development Area at Eugênio de Almeida Foundation, and also coordinator of the Social Innovation Center in this foundation. Eugênio de Almeida Foundation have an important role on the dynamization of the social innovation ecosystem in the region, and we work together for a long time. So, Henrique, the floor is yours.
Well, good morning to everyone. Thank you, Alexandra, and thank you for the inviting of being in this important conference. I work in the Eugênio de Almeida Foundation. It's a private foundation in the south of Portugal, in Évora, the principal city of Alentejo, in the south of Portugal. And we, as a private foundation, we have the mission to develop the cultural, social, and education fields in our region. And we are an unusual foundation because we are a olive oil and wine producer. So, with the profit of our sales of the wine and the olive oil, we develop our mission. And we are a foundation with about 200 people working in the daily basis. And we have important art and culture center and other heritage. Évora is UNESCO city, so it's classified by UNESCO since '86. And we also contribute to this goal in order to promote and to get safe our heritage. In the this is I'm sorry, Alexandra. This is our social innovation center. It's really in the downtown of the city, and it was established in 2008, and it is funded with our own capitals and also with some European projects. Since 2009, we are developing many different programs in order to promote and to reinforce our local ecosystem, and to reinforce and to engage the enterprises, the academy, the social organizations, and the public organizations. And so we are developing these programs, these training programs for mainly for local organizations, for social organizations. And like I said, in 2018, we start this center, we establish this center, who have an important role in different acts. So we develop program for education for entrepreneurship. So each year we go to schools and we work with about 200-300 students from our community. We also developed some leadership programs for them. So besides these ideation programs that we run, we also work for leadership for them to prepare the new generations for leading and to be change makers in the future. We also, as I said, we promote the local the regional ecosystem. So we support local organizations. We develop different events. We are in the regional, national, and international networks in order to bring people and to bring knowledge to the city. We promote investigation programs with the local university. And we are also an incubator, so we develop acceleration programs, and we are getting about 30 projects in our incubator. As Alexandra said, in Portugal we have this important public program that is Portugal Inovação Social, so Portugal Social Innovation, it's like that. And we are funded by them, and we also support our entrepreneurs in order to get access to this fund. I don't know how we are on time, but
yes, we have to go on because only 5 minutes for our entrepreneurs.
Okay, thank you, and thank you all, and I will share my contacts in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you, Henrique. Now we will listen one of the entrepreneurs. Susana Pedro is a teacher, pedagogical coordinator and trainer with a postgraduate degree in neuroeducation and educational science. In 2015, she founded the Sociedade do Bem. Please, the floor is yours, Susana.
Okay, thank you. Hello to everyone. I am going to present the Sociedade do Bem. Sociedade do Bem is a non-profit association located in Évora, Alentejo. We are a group of teachers, educators, and psychologists who implement emotional and social education programs in schools. These programs support the emotional and social education of children to 3 to 12 years old in their own classrooms. We believe that development is at the basis of all learning, and that if children's well-being is not ensured, they will hardly learn the contents of the curriculum. So Sociedade do Bem was founded in 2015 with the aim of creating a space of trust in schools so then that children can learn to identify their emotions, to remain calm whenever necessary, to develop empathy in the relationships between peers. We will also develop workshops for parents, to educators and teachers in this scope. And we have already edited 3 children's books that support our activity in schools. If you, I would like to invite you to follow our website that I will write here. That is www.sociedadedobem.com. And if you have any question or if you want to join us or contact us, you are welcome. It's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Susana. So after 20 years working in sales, people management and training in a multinational context, she shifted to social cluster and leads Inner Voice, a social innovation navigating in a changing environment. Tânia Carvalho, the floor is yours. Tânia? Tânia? She's there. You can you see if she's there, Santiago?
She's there, but she's unmuted.
Okay. Tânia,
Okay.
can you? Okay.
Okay, now you can hear me. Okay, someone was muting me. Okay, well, let's see if I can be really fast. Do I have the control to put the slides forward?
You can
okay.
do it.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, first of all, let me give you a little glance of of what we do. Well, what we do is to empower people, especially women, developing crucial skills that lead to a greater employability and entrepreneurship. How do we do that? By clarifying what is the coaching methodology, since sometimes we know that might be some misunderstanding or lack of information about what it is. It's an unregulated process, so people have references that go from motivational speakers to lifestyle blogs. So the first thing we aim to do is to clarify what is the coaching process in its all applicabilities in several fields of activity. The second thing is to apply it directly with our beneficiaries to improve crucial skills and increase their employability. And the third one is to scale this to other social organizations, implementing social coaching systems in order to better performance of their employees, better productivity, and better results for beneficiaries. So do you know that up more than 80% of your day-to-day actions are the result of a habit? Well, repeating simple behaviors and actions frequently until they become habits will determine whether or not you are successful to reach your goals. I give you examples. Habits like listening as much as you speak, asking questions, visiting, making down lists, providing regular feedback to people. All these habits, if you do it in a very repetitive way, will determine how successfully you reach your goals. Sorry, I'm trying to speed up, and that's bad. Well, we have identified over 30 skills that we work during our coaching program. Our coaching program is based on Lewine's change management model. We do it based in 3 axes. First, we emphasize a desired behavior in people. The second one is when we replace a bad habit by a good habit. And through repetitions, we change the thinking habits of this person until we freeze down these new habits, leading to new goals, to reach new goals and new results. But how do we measure this impact in people? We have developed several milestones across our program, and we collect quantitative and qualitative data by 3 perspectives: by the coach perspective, by the coach's eyes, by the coachee's eyes, and also by the people around the coachee. And we do that by the perceptions, by collecting evidence, by finding the repetition rate, the consistent rate, which means if you do it in a regular way, or if you do it in a very intermittent way. And we also compare the coachability index, which is a tool that we have developed, and we compare the coachability index of this coachee versus his progress during the program. We do this all along the program, in the beginning, during, and end of program, and 1 year after. And the results, the outputs of all this program within people are 3. First, of course, the productivity increase. The second one is to create a positive mindset. And the third one, to create a new mindset of change, more adaptable and positive mind, able to face the uncertainty of these times. And I finish with the sentence of Charles Darwin in The Origin of Species. It is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent. It is the one most adaptable to change. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tânia. I think we showed 2 success cases and projects that were very important during the crisis and during the pandemic. And it's a way to show that we are working together in the networking here in the Alentejo region. Thank you all.
Well, I don't know, Pilar, if you want to add a few words to wrap up the session. If you don't, then I'll just say thank you all for being part of the event, for joining us as guest speakers. It was great to listen to you. To other participants that were listening, I hope you enjoyed the presentation as much as I did. And I hope to see you super soon in another event. Bear in mind that the event finishes tomorrow, so you'll have plenty of room still to learn a lot about social economy. And once again, thank you, and see you all very soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Have a nice day.
Thank you for your interesting experience. Bye.